Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about heroes. We all have our hero. It can be our parents, a friend, a teacher, or anyone. But how can someone really be a hero? Well, for me, someone who does good to anyone, or someone who selflessly devote themselves into doing something that they really love and make people happy. And that's who I am. I am Alex, and I am a food hero. I will be taking it to my favorite spot. Yes, this is my favorite hangout, and this is my heaven in Singapore. Come and join me as I take you to the best place where you can get the cheapest and the freshest ingredients that can turn into a delicious meal. Let's go, guys. Let's check out Teka Market. Here we are! This is my kitchen and this is where all the magic happens. Today I'll be preparing a very simple dish for my brother's birthday. I'll be preparing a famous Filipino pork dish, which is what we call menudo or pork stew, my own version of chicken kebab, and for dessert I'll be making a red velvet cupcake, which is my brother's favorite. But since there's too many dishes and so little time, I think this is the right moment for me to use my superpowers. Super Mom! We've already started cooking our first dish, which is menudo or pork stew. So what I did was I sauteed the garlic, the onion, added the pork. You can wait about 5 to 10 minutes. You can start adding your vegetable like carrots, potatoes, green and red bell pepper, and of course, salt and pepper to taste. So now we are just waiting for the pork, the flavor to really settle in, and we are just waiting for the pork to really be tender. But while waiting for that, let me go and start the chicken kebab. Let's go! So now we will be starting our chicken kebab. We will be needing chicken breast, lemon, orange, green and red bell pepper, and of course, lots of onions. So let's start. So basically, we will just be making some small chicken cubes. There you go. It depends on your preference on what's the size of the chicken that you want. But for me, I want it a bit smaller. There you go. This is actually one of my favorite chicken recipes. Not only because it's all chicken breast, it's because the flavor and the texture of the chicken, it just goes with the lemon and the orange. Okay? So after this, we will have to marinate the chicken. I'll show you how in a bit. Okay, let's have one more piece. Such a smaller part. There you go. Three more. And last piece. There you go. So after that, let me just wash my hands. Then we will start marinating the chicken. So in marinating the chicken, we will be needing lemons and oranges, and the orange zest as well. It gives a lot of flavor in the chicken. So we will be needing probably one lemon and half of the orange. Just squeeze in the lemon. Just put more effort as you can, but obviously I cannot. Okay? So let's have one more. So a bit of the juice again. Okay? And we will add the orange zest. So why do we have to add it? Because it gives more citrus flavor in the chicken. Okay. It depends on how really you want to do the flavor. Usually chicken kebab has a lot of ways of doing it, but for me this is the perfect way. Okay, there you go. And after that, let's squeeze half of this orange. Okay. Again, squeeze it. Squeeze some more. There you go. Okay. Then we'll have to get the. Okay. Then we'll add olive oil. Probably a couple of tablespoons. 1 or 2 tablespoons should be enough. Okay. We'll chop some parsley. I do use parsley because of its flavor and its smell. I don't know, I just love the smell of parsley. But you can also use rosemary or you can also use thyme. So just chop it smaller. Make it so minced. Again, this will just add flavor in terms of marinating the chicken. The important thing here is that the flavor actually goes inside the meat of the chicken. Okay, there you go. Just put it in there. Then, of course, we'll also need to chop some garlic. Probably like 2 cloves, 2 or 3 cloves is enough. There you go. Off you go there. And lastly, salt and pepper. How can I forget that? So there you go. One last step. So once everything is there, so again, let me just have a quick recap. So what we have here, of course, is the chicken breast, the garlic, parsley, salt and pepper to taste, olive oil, and of course the important ingredient is the citrus flavor, which came from the lemon and the orange juice. Oh, and the orange zest, by the way. Okay? So just mix them up. And again, allow the flavor to just go inside the chicken breast. Usually I leave this about 20 to 30 minutes. So let's set this aside. So now we'll go and start our red velvet cupcake. It's baking time. Now let's start with a red velvet cupcake. We will be needing butter, granulated sugar, buttermilk, egg, flour, salt, cocoa powder, baking soda, and baking powder. Now for our cream cheese frosting, we will be needing confectioner sugar or icing sugar, cream cheese, butter, and milk. Probably we'll be needing a couple of tablespoons depending on the texture that you want. Okay, so let's start. As you can see, I don't have any mixer. Not because I don't use any mixer at all, but it's because I just want to prove to you guys that even without a mixer, you will still be able to produce the same delicious and yummy cupcake. Okay, so let's start. So now we will be starting with the butter and the sugar. Alright. So make sure that your butter is under room temperature because you don't want a lumpy cupcake. So in order for you to achieve that fluffy cake that you want, make sure that your butter is at room temperature. Alright? Then our sugar. It's not about the equipment. It's about loving what you're doing and loving the people that you're cooking for. And for me, this cupcake is just full of love. So just continue whisking until you achieve the creamy texture. Then leave this aside. So again, we have here our flour, salt, cocoa powder, baking soda, baking powder. You can just mix them together. Okay, while mixing that, okay, let me just share to you that red velvet cupcake is like a vanilla cupcake kissed by a cocoa. So that's why we need to have a bit of cocoa powder inside. So just mix it. Then, because I want my cupcake to be very, very smooth, I will have to sift it again patiently. This is to avoid those lumps because mostly cocoa powder has a lot of lumps. So just sift it patiently. Alright. Then you see all of this. So we'll just have to put this aside. Let's go back to our butter. Just keep on whisking it. We will add half of this flour mixture. And half of the buttermilk. Now, why am I using a buttermilk? The reason why I'm using a buttermilk is because I'm not using any vegetable oil. So we will be getting the fluffiness, the texture of this cupcake using the buttermilk. Okay, so again, just keep on whisking. This might be good in terms of exercising your arms. So now let's just put everything, the remaining flour mixture and the remaining buttermilk. Continue whisking it until you have a soft and smooth butter. Okay, so as you can see the texture, it's now becoming softer and smoother. Just use all your strength to do the whisking. So now, after you have achieved your smooth butter, we will now go and add the food coloring. So why do we have to add this is because of course we're having a red velvet cupcake, so it has to be red. Again, most of the red velvet cupcakes nowadays are using food coloring is because the juice is super difficult to find. Alright, so we have to start by adding a little bit. The reason is because if you add more at the start, it became so red, you won't be able to take it back. So we have to start in a smaller portion, okay? And just add as much as you want until you achieve the color that you want. We're almost there. I'm sure most of your friends would love this. We've achieved the color that we want. Now it's time to put this in a cupcake tray. So we'll start in having 1 scoop per cup. Taste some of these. Let's pop this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then once it's done, we can go ahead and taste this yummy and delicious cupcake. And while waiting for this, let's go back and check our chicken kebab. Thanks to my superpowers, I finished all 3 dishes in the nick of time. Now I'm ready to serve to the birthday boy. Happy birthday!
So delicious, Mommy. I love you.
I am Alex, and I am a food hero.